Movement number 4. Dragon seeks path. Dragon whips his tail.
Yo, my man, why you got on that purse, huh?
Hey, this ain't no fucking purse. I'm the big dilf. Don't do that. $100 Patron in the bid at, you heard? Get your money up, not your funny up.
Mumful podcast.
Mumful podcast. We kicking that. Wow, what's up? True. That was worthy. We back at it like yak addicts with bad habits. Grizzly gang. Diggy. Now, we talked about this a little bit on the podcast. I mean, on the live stream. I always switch podcast and live stream. But we talked about this a little bit on the live stream. And by a little bit, I mean a lot, because a lot of people were... a lot of people were like, yo, y'all, you see what's going on with Joe and Remy? And yeah, definitely saw it. So that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about today, man. Because
what we on?
Got a lot to talk about. First of all, I want to thank everybody who tuned into the live stream last night. That was probably the most epic live stream we've had. I have a bunch of people hitting me up talking about that was the funnest they've had in a live stream yet. I'm still working out the times in which I'm going to upload and the days. Right now, the next one is I'm still sticking to 2 days a week. The next live stream is going to be on Thursday. You dig? So if you got a song you want me to request and you don't want to spend $20, $30, have your 5 ready. You know what I mean?
Come through.
Meet me in the live stream on Thursday. It's going to be Thursday night. Probably going to be 11.
If your shit trash, you getting roasted. It's like normal.
Yeah, we keeping it real. But that's my shameless plug. But yeah, back into this. Hold on, my bad. I got it. Back into Joe Budden, bro. Pause. Well, what do you go? You starting this? I feel like I always start.
Man, listen. I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. That entire show made me angry. There was a ton that I disagreed with. There was a ton that I didn't like about the show. There was the format.
Wait. Now, what exactly of the show made you angry? The aesthetic of the show, the conversation.
Okay, first things first. The reason why the show is trash is because I understand. I believe it's a regular TV show, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I understand the time frames of what the topics you got to talk about and stuff like that. But my thing is this. If you're not going to finish talking about a topic and then move to the next one, I feel like you should pick and choose what is important that day and what's not important that day. Because to me, you got 4 people, which is already makes things shorter than normal. That cuts down the time, just the talking time. Their topics section was literally like 5 minutes, and then you got 4 different people, 4 different idiots trying to share their opinion. The only person that really was like semi-tolerable during that entire situation was Remy. And there was parts that Remy was saying, bro, that I was just like, I don't understand how nobody's here to fact check this shit. Like, nobody's gonna tell her that she's wrong. I'm just confused, bro. Like,
what parts are you talking about?
Son, the whole Nike. I mean, when they were talking about the Nike shit.
I just watched the end part.
Okay, listen. So they're talking about the Nike situation with Colin Kaepernick and people, protesting Nike and niggas being coons for listening to this and that and this, that, and the third. Well, in the midst of that, she's gonna say, well, Adidas was the 3 stripes represent Nazi symbols and people still buy those. And then Timberland came out and said that they don't want black people wearing their stuff, and Tommy Hilfiger came out and said that he didn't want black people wearing their stuff. And I'm like, bruh, like, you can tell he was definitely in jail. What?
What's she wrong about?
That's not even true.
What?
That's not even true.
He definitely said that. He had to come out and apologize.
Who did?
Tommy Hilfiger.
No, that's not true. Just look it up, bro.
Of course.
It was definitely, it was literally an allegation. He didn't say that. He didn't actually.
He literally come out and, okay.
Look it up.
Tommy
right
Hilfiger, like, the first thing that pops up, I be loving the fact now that we record this shit. The first thing, Tommy Hilfiger addresses those racist rumors from 1996.
They were you just said they were rumors.
He wouldn't close, he wouldn't.
I'm telling you, bro, it's not a real thing. Like, I don't know, son. You just can't have a show with 4 people and nobody's gonna tell somebody that they're wrong or they're wrong.
Now you got me literally reading this whole article.
You can look it up. You can watch whatever video you want. I'm telling you, that's not true. Like, it's a rumor. I mean, you said that. It was a rumor, yo.
What was the statements exactly?
They said allegedly that he said to somebody. It wasn't even like he said it. They say he said to somebody that that's what he didn't want black people wearing his clothes. And then I don't think he ever like.
I'm trying to find the exact quote. That's what I'm looking for right now is the exact quote. I know this is mad boring for the people watching, but say something else.
It just said that he just said Tommy's brand took a major hit after rumors spread that he was a racist and didn't want black people wearing his clothes. I mean, I don't know. Regardless, I'm just saying.
I need to know the exact quote. That's a. What was the exact quote that he was quoted saying?
They just said that he said that he didn't want black people wearing his clothes. That's all that.
Nah, that's not the specific quote.
Okay, well, I don't think you're gonna find the specific quote. But what I'm telling you is, it's a rumor. It's like you would be able to find where he said that if he could. Like, what are we talking about right now? All I'm saying is that
I found the quote, but I don't know if that's the specific quote. I found the quote that said, "It doesn't look so nice when they wear it." That was the direct quote that I saw.
All I'm saying is this. You got 4 people on a television show. You got one person saying something.
My point is, you don't need 4 people. Like, when you have 2 big personalities, there's literally no purpose of having 2 other personalities on there. No. If they're not going to be... The dude is way too timid. The dude is like, why is he on there?
He's definitely a male Nadeska.
Yeah, and the girl is just like... But here's the thing is that Jinx dude literally used to get roasted for how, like...
monotone he is?
Yeah, and his voice when he used to do stuff
very
with
dry.
So it's like, why would you choose this guy?
Yeah.
And then here's the thing, the Eminem debate is when I knew the most that there's no point of them. Because what it was Joe versus Remy. And those 2 others were literally just possibles. Like, they literally just...
Well, that girl, Scotty, whatever, she's dumb as hell. I'm not gonna act like I haven't seen multiple things where I'm just like, oh my god, will you shut up? Will you just shut the fuck up? Like, you are just talking like for no reason.
There's one point, and I know I said this, but I gotta say this for the podcast. There was one point where she was asked if she liked the album or liked the music that was on the album, and she like said yes in a way like duh, yeah, duh. But then they reworded the question, and I'm pretty sure it came from the dude this time. Yeah. No, Remy asked the question the first time, and she said, duh.
Right.
Then the dude asked again, like, are you sure? Like, are you sure? And then she goes, no. Like, with the same passion that she said yes. I was like, what?
It's definitely weird. I don't know, son. There a lot about that show. Like I said, there's just a lot about that show that to me is just.
Well, let's get to the real part that we gotta talk about is the end comment.
Yeah.
How she got into the end, because like those other people are kind of just annoying, and I don't see that show going on for much. Like,
I don't either.
Like, I see it going longer, but it doesn't have the everyday struggle feel because 1, there's too many people. 2, it doesn't have that family feeling that Everyday Struggle had where you didn't know, like all 3 of them you didn't know.
They're way too concerned with time.
And they're concerned with time, and it's also like...
It's just a bad dynamic.
It's like the unnatural version of Everyday Struggle.
Yeah.
It's literally like the corporate, as crazy as that sounds, but it feels like the corporate version of Everyday Struggle.
Yeah, and yo, even the way it was shot, like there's so much about, like, the lighting was so terrible. It didn't even make you want to watch it. Like, why? Whose idea was it to have everybody wear dark colors and have a black backdrop? Like, all them niggas ain't black. Like, what? I'm like, what are you doing, bro? I don't know, son. There was a lot wrong.
Well,
with
I
that
think
shit.
Also Joe Budden had his little brother's jacket on. But wait, let's get into the what we were talking. Anyway, so Remy straight called him cold
Pussy, yeah.
And to me, it's not that. Oh, I just want to cape for him. But it's just that if this wasn't him, if this was anybody, I would look at Joe Budden like, it's not even that you're puss, it's that you don't stand, it's like almost makes me feel like you don't stand for anything now.
He doesn't, man. He doesn't, nothing he says he truly means. He just says everything with anger, passion, and aggression. So
you keep moving the goal line. Your thing for Dre can't be, I think he was talking about it.
Yeah.
You had a whole podcast talking about how you think he possibly could be maybe mentioning you. You make 3 whole songs about it. Because you're an opportunist, bro.
He is. He's a
Eminem,
that's what he is.
Because you're also like a bully, so you're like, oh, well, Drake isn't lyrically on my level. I can take him.
Yeah.
Eminem comes and literally dogs you. That's the closest hit you has to smacking B-words. And then another thing that I realized is, like, the culture's gotten mad soft. Because the way people are like, yeah, that was a little much of a low blow. It was still fire, but it was a low blow. I was like, y'all need this.
This is the thing that I don't understand, too, about the whole Eminem this is Joe Budden thing, is like, they're literally picking a segment. That's the only part of the diss that they're, like, even mentioning. They're not mentioning the fact that he mentioned the hotel situation and, like, different shit, like, to diss Joe Budden. Like, that wasn't the only thing he said to Joe Budden.
But what I'm saying is, why is the burden on Eminem to give you this gigantic diss when you're the person who started this?
It's stall tactics.
That's like you slapping somebody. And then he elbows you in the mouth. Like, elbows you in the mouth, busts your mouth, and you're like, well, he ain't slapped me back. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to wait for him to slap me. It's
I don't know, son. Joe Budden is on something else because he definitely keeps moving the goalposts. Like, just the fact that he's changing. I don't know. You know, I'm a Joe Budden fan and shit like that as far as the shows go and stuff. But it's just like a lot of corny shit going around surrounding that situation because to me, it's like you got... I don't know what more you could ask for. Like, he's acting like Eminem did not deliver a good body of work. Like, the people...
He's not acting like that. He's not.
Yeah, kind of. Yes, he is.
Everybody who got dissed. And you know me, I was going to...
He is, though. He is, because that's why...
No, he's not. Bro, he's not... Listen close to what Joe be saying. Joe has never called the album whack.
He didn't say that. He didn't say that. He didn't say it was whack. But he's trying to, like, discredit it. He's not trying to say that it's a good body of work.
He said the album was fire. He's talking about his diss. Dude, this the same thing Jamar did.
Nah, but hold on, though, because he also said in that, too, he said, how many times is Eminem going to give us an album where he's talking about how I'm sorry that the last album's whack? That's not what we want to hear.
But that's the cries of a person who is attacked and doesn't know what angle to take. Because what trumps that statement is when later on he says the album was dope. So you can't even if he believed that negates that statement now. Because if you're so pussy, you had to say that, but you actually believe it's not good, then you no longer can say it's not good.
I mean, we know that. Like, we know that, but what
it's not about we. It's like...
But what he's portraying... Bro, he's trying... You're not going to act like he's not trying to act like the album is not good body.
No, bro, he's not. That's what I'm saying is he's slipping it in for people who aren't paying attention. Like, he has...
I know he has.
So then we're talking about me and you. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the average consumer is an idiot. So what I'm saying is that he's not even disguising it in a way that makes it that you have to be an idiot to see it. The second, just because some people will negate the fact he said he liked the album, you know he said he liked the album. So you can't then say that he's trying to discredit. Yes, he's trying to discredit, but he's kind of not. What he's trying to do is he's trying to take
But that's
steam
what I'm
away.
saying. He's portraying that.
What he's trying to do, no, this is what he's trying to do. He's trying to take steam away from the punch he got. What he thought was going to happen, this is the same thing Jamar did. Notice, what they thought was people didn't like this whole album. That's what they thought.
Yeah.
They thought they were going to be able to come in and be like, oh, let's roast this Eminem album.
Yeah.
But then when they started seeing people like it, what they had to double back and be like, oh, snap, I can't just say Eminem's whack. I have to specifically talk about the diss. Think about Lord Jamar.
What?
I said, think about how Lord Jamar's podcast started out making up fun of how Eminem raps in general.
Yeah.
Talking about how whack everything is. Then by the end of the podcast, he literally said that album and his rapping on the album was dope, was fire.
Yeah, I know, but like that's what I'm saying though. The image that they're trying to push for the people is that.
You know what it is? It's like when you when you try to holler at a bad chick and she turns you down, like, man, your pussy stink anyway. That's what it is. That's what it is because it's
but that's what I'm saying though. That's what they're trying to put. They're trying to push that narrative that. Even though that they're saying one thing, they're trying to push that narrative. That's what they're trying to say. They're trying to even make evidence. They're trying to fabricate the evidence that they do have.
But it's not working. They're trying to. And I think where they double backed on is they're trying more to discredit their specific disses now. Yeah. Because that's where they're going. Because for Joe not to respond to closest thing you had to hit was smacking B words, but you respond to pump it up. She had a good head on her, so I pumped it up 3 times. You're puss. You're just puss. There's nothing you're now going to tell me that you don't pick and choose who you go against, and you're only going against the people who you think you can beat. There's nothing that you're going to tell me.
I mean, but Joe Budden has been that way, I mean, for everything, though. He's the same way with Yachty. And yo, I'm kind of surprised that people don't use J. Cole as more of an example when talking about shit like that, because he's definitely a nigga that be throwing stones but then hides his hands if the right person is watching.
Speaking of that, you know what was really weird about when they brought up J. Cole on that thing? Was because they tried to be like, y'all killed J. Cole for going at the youngsters.
And I was sitting there like, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, bro. That show was dumb ass.
That was the thing that threw me up. I was like,
there was a lot of that show that was just like,
I was like, that was the moment literally that I started like disliking J. Cole the most because everybody was on his side. Like,
yeah.
Who didn't go, oh my God, J. Cole is killing these mumble rappers. Finally, hip hop is back.
There was like memes and shit going around like that. Like that's serious.
I'm sure a few people like, why is he going at that? But are you really trying to pretend that was the majority? That's why I hate not being able to argue with people live, because what people try to do, and they try to do this with hip hop the most, is rewrite history just when it's convenient to an argument. Like people will literally rewrite a history where it's like, wait, you were killing this person for this. 7 years later, you're killing somebody else for not doing that. Like that.
You know, it's gonna be it's gonna be hilarious when like on Facebook in like 3 years when people are saying all that kind of shit and then they look at their shared memories of like this date 3 years ago and they're like, wow, this was a completely different climate.
I can't wait for 4 years from now when artists don't troll or do anything anymore and they just focus on music and people will be like, man, I miss back in the day when people took in more than just music and gave us good content. That's exactly what they're going to do. That's exactly what they're going to do. That is, yeah. It's like, I was saying that the other day. I was like, bruh, it's so weird how hip-hop is like, I be wanting to say it's like every 5 years it just does like a recycle thing. There's like the melodic people, and then literally 5 years later there's a super hippity hop nigga, and then everybody gets on that super rapping wave, and then a couple years later it goes back to the melodic shit, and then it goes back to the hippie. What more than that is hip hop just moves on a cycle of what's new. And people get tired of stuff. When you pay close enough attention, you damn near can start smelling on the trends are changing. That's why I know lyricism. Man, I said lyrics. Listen, do you remember when I said lyrics were taken back over? Yeah. And since I've said that, it's been nothing but hip-hop battles and stuff about lyrics. Nothing. Do you even hear about Lil Yachty's music anymore? No. Do you even hear about Uzi's music anymore? No. do you even hear about anybody but Tekashi 6ix9ine?
No.
And technically, Tekashi 6ix9ine is rapping more like Onyx than he is Young Thug.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
He's definitely more DMX than anything else. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. If you pay attention to the culture, you can literally start smelling when things are changing. Oh, this is how the cycle goes. Something happens in a big mass, right? And it's it's the egg or the chicken theory, because it's like, what comes first? The annoyance of something, or okay, what'll happen is there will be a tone set. Hip hop will get sick of that tone because everybody jumps on it and creates that narrative.
Facts.
So what they do is they go to the exact opposite. They don't go to like another one, something different. They go to the starkest contrast of whatever it was. So that's why I keep going from lyrics don't matter to only lyrics matter. Lyrics don't matter to only lyrics matter. There'll never be a time where it's just like, I mean, I don't care if you have lyrics. There will never be that time because hip hop works on extremes. It works on extremes. So literally, that's what I'm saying. Years from now, what's going to happen is when people are, because that whole trolling thing is the bubble is going to burst, right? And people are going to like people for only focusing on music, right? 5 years of that, there's going to be people who are the same people who are sick of that are going to be like, man, hip hop is boring. All these rappers do just drop music. You think I'm just going to watch your stuff? You don't post your stuff on Instagram and stuff? That's exactly what it's going to do.
Yeah. And it's such a time now where everything's so accessible and anybody can be big without even having somebody behind them by accident that, like, I don't know. It just perpetuates weird shit to happen constantly in the culture. And, like, I don't know. It's weird. But I literally don't like when you got niggas like Joe Budden out here painting a weird narrative of some shit that's really good and acting like it's not. Like, my nigga.
I'm kind of just sick of people painting narratives that they won't stick by. I guess it's like the thing about I'll be paying attention to human nature and I don't be like, I just let people, and it just, I feel like I know it's gonna sound like Brett Worster, but I feel like I'm the only person who holds myself to my own thing, even when it's a detriment to myself. Nobody, okay, I'll put it this way. If people can prosper being a hypocrite, there's no person on planet Earth who's not gonna, that moment, be a hypocrite on what they say. There is nobody, and that for some reason bothers me. That's why I hate it when, because you can say whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. You can say, I'm gay. You can come and say, I want to be a woman. But the second you're like, no, I literally am a woman, or no, I don't like you because you're straight, or you know what I'm saying? Like the second that you start making it where not only do I have to accept what you do, but I have to now go into my own life and change something so it accommodates your self-esteem. I can't do that. Like, so that's why I hate when it's like, okay, Joe, so I'm supposed to accept that you're opinionated and you might hate on rappers that I like, and you sound like an old head and you might be detracting. I can accept that. But then I also have to accept that you won't keep that same energy.
Never.
I can also have to accept that you can just switch your mind at any point. I have to also accept you won't hold yourself to your own standard. Facts. That's not fair. That's not weird, what we're doing. You're one or the other. You're a puss or you're a person who stands by their opinion. There's no in between.
And right he's now, just definitely a nigga who tries to ride that in-between line constantly. That shit's annoying.
Quit that. That's that coward shit. Like,
definitely corny.
Like, everybody has scary tendencies, but the one thing I hate is when someone is like a coward. Like, I can't stand a coward. But a coward is somebody who does like coward is shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a coward is somebody like that.
Who will cast a stone and then hide their hands. That's
exactly. Like, believe it or not, academics is a coward simply because of the energy that he had when he made War on Chirac.
Yeah.
But since then, he's denounced. He's admitted to that, and now he's like, oh, well, I'm a puss. So there's nothing you could do to him that makes him a coward now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But Joe Budden is like, oh, so you think you're the tough guy, and then you also think you're the guy who gets to not respond when people say something to him, but you're the guy who makes things that people have to respond to? Fuck out of here. How hard did he kill Drake for not responding?
Bro, he tried. Yeah, he painted a whole campaign. My nigga went to Funk Flex with this shit. My nigga he was on a whole campaign about that shit. And then literally a year after that, he gets Everyday Struggle, and then the first fucking half a year of that show, he's up there talking about hating on Drake every opportunity that he gets, but then will sit back and be like, "Oh, dude, I love that new what was that app? More Life. More Life is just a great body of work. It's just a great."
And that's the little bag he gets into because he thinks that that's funny, and he thinks that like people accept that because of his character. Because there'll be times he'll be like, "Oh, I'm so two-faced," like it's a joke. But I'm like, that's only funny when you're actually aware when it's happening. So like, like a white guy doing racist comedy, right? Is funny, but it becomes very unfunny when you figure out he's like a Nazi youth.
Yeah,
right. Like
yeah.
it's funny like when someone's like, I had this piece of fried chicken, and I looked at my black friend, and we both had a nervous moment. Now, that's funny, right? But if then you find out he's, like, hailing Hitler, then it's just not funny now. Like, That's not being self-aware. Like, you think it is, but it's not. It's being very unself-aware.
It's weird. It's definitely weird, man. Let us know in the comment section what y'all niggas think. If y'all watch,
put in the comment section. Do you feel like Joe's being mad buns right now? Put in the comment section. Feel like Joe being mad buns, yo. Make sure you put buns. Don't put the other word. I'm not trying to get this demonetized. You do. So like, comment, subscribe. Month Food Podcast episode, I think 18,
something like that.
Something along the lines of that.
Good.
We out it.
I ain't got time for all that flashy shit. Let's just get right to it, man. My mic on? Alright, listen. I'm dealing with tough shit, depression and some shit. All of this fuck shit I just cannot put up with. Shouldn't be upset cause I know that we up next. But what about success? It sucks too much stress. I'm dealing with tough shit, depression and some shit. All of this fuck shit I just cannot put up with. Shouldn't be upset cause I know that we up next. But what about success? It sucks too much stress, I guess. No one can hear you scream when you up this high, baby. No one can hear you scream. No one can hear you scream. This the life that you asked for, but no one can hear you scream. Think I've been battling depression for a little bit. Took me a while to understand I was really sick. Maybe I wasn't understanding what it really is. To make a nigga wanna scream out like a little kid. It was some little shit. Can't give a fuck about what niggas is talking about. Cause you ain't never been inside the shoes I've been walking around. And you ain't never been inside the pool when the sharks is around. And you ain't never been up on the roof and y'all talking me down. Before I jumped off, treating every girl I meet like a jump off. Cause that's the only way I know to hide these dumb scars. Cause I'm hurt, I'm calling every bitch a dumb broad. Damn. Now that's fuck, little dude, but it's easier to say and I got trust issues. It's easier to fake I got no trust in you. Cause one day I'm afraid I won't fuck with you. Nah, and you don't fuck with Scru. And you gon' just decide to up and move. And you gon' take my joy and comfort too. And all of your stupid friends gon' comfort you. But trust this, Scru. If you make a song about what fucks with you, and you can touch somebody that get fucked with too, the forever worse, the better they'll fuck with you. No one can hear you scream when you up this high, baby. No one can hear you scream. No one can hear you scream. This the life that you asked for, but no one can hear you scream.